really amazed. Here with me here is we are the Nigerian Foundries. If we could take it back to 7 years ago, it will amaze you watching me that this is not Nigerian Foundries. He said a real worth of a life is not how well it is lived, but the value it bequeaths. One man's rich achievement remains a lesson to everyone that admires greatness, to whom is God goodness in abundance.
Health is wealth and is not to be hidden. Do you need to see or hear from a medical doctor about your health status? Glare Eagles Medical Healthcare Services Limited is here to serve you better. Contact the medical director at number 7 Ojuolobo Close, Victoria Island, Lagos. Telephone number 0701 300011 or 0709 8123 or you can check on their website on glareeaglesng.com or email at thejaba@glareeaglesng.com. Redefining medicals and healthcare services for all.
Mr. Vassily Barberopoulous. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
So I must tell you, you really have God's goodness in abundance with you.
Actually, the true restructuring has actually been done in Ota, Ogun State, compared to here. To here is just some changes of bringing things up to par. Ota, Ogun State is where the actual change and restructuring has been done, because you have to remember that we moved everything from here to Ota. And we amalgamated it together with what was existing in Ota.
And sir, a quick one. It's so worrisome, sir. The present COVID-19 case, which is a Delta virus, is really hitting very hard. This has nothing to do with the poor or the rich now. It's across. So what's your view on the effects of the coronavirus on the building and housing industry?
When coronavirus came out, I had said it's going to take at least 2 years. And I'm talking about in February 2020. And then I said world economy will take at least 5 years until 2025. A lot of people disagreed. The reason I said it take minimum 2 years is because the Germans said it, and they normally have their statistics. As an economist, I looked at it from the point of view of economics, and I said it will take another 3 years. And that's the actual reality right now. So on and off, I believe it's already going into 2022. It will be till 2025. And we should expect in the future much more viruses like this coming, and we have to be prepared.
Does it also affect cross-border practice?
Cross-border practice has to do with us, because in Africa, a lot of us believe that corona does not exist, or it has a minimal effect, and it has actually had a minimal effect compared to all the other countries in the world. Especially the first world countries, irrespective of whether we keep statistics or not. If we in Lagos had, where we are 12 million, we had 1,000 cases a day, we would know it, irrespective of statistics.
So okay, with the effect of COVID-19 on the sector, the building and admin sector, so I mean, what do you foresee it changing the face of the sector? Do you foresee it?
I would like to not talk about sectors. I'd like to talk about manufacturing in general. Yes, it has had a big impact. You have those manufacturers who are resilient and those who have not been resilient. And that's worldwide. So those who have not been resilient are really suffering. Now, what is resilience? Resilience is many things. It can be economic, it can be also technological resilience. Because remember, the world is moving very fast technologically to produce cheaper products at the right quality. So here in Africa, we are still, in general, and Nigeria, we have a lot of outdated technologies. And we are expecting to make miracles with those outdated technologies. Those companies that decide to upgrade themselves technologically, to become cheaper, move into different materials, quality, products, and so on, will survive. The remaining, who will sit and complain, we don't have enough money, we don't have this, we don't have that, will eventually die off. It's sad, but that's the reality. Usually, whenever there's a downturn in any economy worldwide, whether it was in 2008 or whatever, companies, when there's a downturn, is the right time to retool and upgrade your technology. Right now, China is sending us all the old technology which they have dismantled. And we are buying it to use it and produce, thinking we are going to manufacture and get better. Well, it's a double-edged sword.
So what are the possible impacts, sir, you think the pandemic could have on the system in the future?
Well, I mean, once you are forewarned, you need to foreplan. So in the future, well, already, we know that one thing is, if you are not a resilient company, which means you are strong enough to survive, it doesn't mean making a profit, you'll be out. And what does resilience require? Optionality. Means look at all the options you have. What options, where can you go? What can you do? What can you invest in? And adaptability. If there's no adaptability to adapt to the new situations, we're in problems. So any company, my advice is, it's easy to say, yes, resilience, optionality, adaptability, but you really need to go back and sit and think about the DNA of your business and think, how will I move and transcend to that new era? Remember, we are in a new era not because of COVID. We are in a new era because of information technology. COVID just accelerated. The options are technologically increase, be adaptable, be optional, make new products, develop new things, create actually a demand for new products. I mean, everybody, all the young people who do apps, what do? They come to you, you tell them what you want, and they create an app. That's exactly what manufacturing should do. Find out, what is the market wanting? It's difficult, yes, I agree. You have to do R&D, you have to be innovative. Hey, but that is what is the name of the game for the future of the world. It's unfortunate, but that's the case. I have to face it. I face it daily, hourly.
We have been on lockdown due to the pandemic. So can you tell us about the impact on the COVID-19 lockdown on your business, and what's the lesson thus far you've learned, sir?
I don't think business is going back to normal. In true sense, COVID-19 came at the time when our economy has gone down. Oil prices went down, revenue for our country has gone down, and everything. So right now, there isn't enough, let's put it, money from the average Nigerian or whatever. Everybody now is safeguarding themselves. So this year, next year will be difficult years. So we like to look at indices, but indices don't always reflect what is happening. We can take indices that we like, and we can take indices we don't like and reject them.
Your own decision is very different from other people's decisions. Why Why do you speak like this?
I speak like that because this is a reality.
From the other response, there is hopefulness.
It's good to be pragmatic. And being pragmatic, you become hopeful. And you know where the future is going. Unfortunately, in Nigeria, we don't like to be visionary. Whether we are entrepreneurs, whether we are parastatals, whether we are education or whatever. Visionary means not look in the future, understand what others are doing, understand where the future is going with IT. Everything is hedged on IT. Everything is hedged on IT technology. I mean, in my own industry, as Foundries, in 10 years, there will be 1/5 of the foundries in the world. Everything will be 3D printing, which means additive manufacturing. So if you don't prepare yourself, where are you going to go? So if you are a manufacturer and you don't see where the international trends of technology go and where the new products are and where the new materials are, well, sorry.
Because what's your view on physical present meeting culture in Nigeria? So do you think the digital meeting transition is well accepted?
Anything that has to do with information technology is moving very fast worldwide, much faster than we all expect. We are just taking it in small portions, but I'll tell you, it's the reality and the future reality. So yes, we can travel. Yes, physical contact is needed, is very much needed, but it is the reality and it's going to stay, and we better get used to that.
Enjoy the taste of 100% pure cocoa drink, fast oatmeal instant cereal, nutritious high-fiber soy meal, and quality Sobic defatted soya flour for baking. All these and more from the stable of Spectra Industries Limited, located at Plot 1, Suko Road, Okoba, Agege, Lagos. Call 0903-344-6662. Spectra Industries Limited, home of functional foods.
Yes, because we take all the precautionary measures, we are not affected. And now we are all equipped with the vaccine. So we have the first and we have the second. And during the COVID, we in the association, we came together and we did a lot. And because of the peculiar sector of food and agro, we were able to produce during that time, and we were also in a position to donate palliatives to some states where we operate. For example, we donated to Lagos State, we donated to Ogun State, and we donated to Ekiti State. And then we in the food and agro processors, we've been trying as much as possible to make sure that food is always ready.
Okay, sir.
And going forward is, number one, we have the agricultural produce. Once the agricultural produce are there, then the processors will produce and process and preserve. And if we have enough reserve of processed food, we will be able to withstand any pandemic to some extent, because there will be enough food in stock. With the CBN coming to put in place something like Anchor Borrower Scheme. Anchor Borrower Scheme is a good initiative to assist farmers to produce, but not enough in terms of processing was put in place. Those people in processing, they need machinery, they need stock of raw materials, and in buying machinery, most of the machinery that will last us, that we produce for export, are imported. And the foreign exchange to do this are not made available. The intervention fund promised by central bank are not getting to the processors. And this has actually left a lot of gap. And again, when you now see food wastages, that's the result, because food will be produced on the farm but not processed, then it will waste. Whereas if the processing facilities are up to date, as the food are coming out from farm, they are being processed and preserved. Then another thing that also happened to the people on the farm, this a matter of herdsmen has actually driven a lot of people from the farm. And when these people are not growing, what are we going to process? So right now, we don't know what to do, because price that are supposed to be coming down now are going up. And grains, when it was available, were allowed to be exported. And if Nigeria is going to move forward, grains are supposed to be banned from export, so that value will be added. A lot of Nigerians will be engaged in food processing. But as long as grains are exported, poultry industry is in trouble, livestock industry is in problem, and food processing industry, most of them may have to close.
Enjoy the taste of 100% pure cocoa drink, fast oatmeal instant cereal, nutritious high fiber soy meal, and quality Sobek defatted soya flour for baking. All these and more from the stable of Spectra Industries Limited, located at Plot 1, Suko Road, Okwoba, Agege, Lagos. Call 0903 344 6662. Spectra Industries Limited, home of functional foods.
I believe as a third world country, we've done excellently well. You see, when the issue started, it was as if the virus was just going to come into Africa and blow all of us off, because the pace at which the developed countries were tackling the virus and they were losing right, left, and center. China had a horrible first episode, and the whole of Europe was virtually ravaged. America was under the weather, and so on and so forth. But here in Nigeria, I'll tell you that, particularly in Lagos State, I can speak very well on that. We have a very strong team, which was led by, or which is still being led by the executive governor, Mr. Sanwo-Olu, and they have a very, very learned and hardworking commissioner. That's Professor Akin Abayomi, Professor Akin Abayomi, and he has done tremendously well to ensure that we have a good protocol, standard. I know the federal government has been offering the captainship, of the fight against the pandemic, but what we have done in Lagos State, I think is very, very, I will say very, very pleasing, in the sense that we came out strong on it. We put it under control. We had facilities which were more anticipatory, and to that extent, I think we've done very well. We've been frightened by a third wave now, but I believe that with the template we have on ground, we should be able to cope very well if it does come. What to physically possible. It's a template has been offered by which the medical workers, they are given a protocol of what they're supposed to do, how to handle patients, those under suspicion, those that are full-blown cases, and those that have reasons to worry, how they have to protect themselves. Initially, there was an issue about availability of the protective gears and disposables and all that, but quite a strong move was made to that extent, and we can say we feel quite comfortable, about protecting people. Now, we had quite some disputes, about having extra funds to, show the people that they are doing extra job and all that, and that was also effectively tackled, and I believe that that issue has settled down very well now, and everybody is doing their work. Right now, the second wave is virtually, down, and but we're still saying that as long as there are still cases here and there, they have to ensure that everybody keeps to the rules and regulations to protect them and also to protect other people in the environment. So that's what we're hoping for, that, wear your mask, wash your hands, use sanitizer, keep the social distance, and avoid crowded areas and all those kind of things. But people should not just assume that it is over and we start hugging each other and giving high five and all that, because the scientifically, we seem to have won the second round, but we don't know what's going to follow, and we definitely will need to continue to be cautious as long as the virus is still somewhere in the world.
At the time the coronavirus pandemic came, it came to us, by surprise to the health sector. It was a sudden thing. We were unprepared. We thought it was a disease, that began in a foreign land and will stay in the foreign land, not knowing that we will be under its effect. So everybody just have to gather, themselves together. For us in the health sector, we know the effect, we know the merit and demerit of it, even though the general populace, do not know. But gradually, they felt, the effect when they were hearing, stories. But we never doubted the fact that the disease, existed. So when it came, the challenge was how to protect ourselves. We can't close down hospitals. We just have to, stand in, for those who are sick. We don't even know, what they are suffering from. So we have to, to be in the hospital. Curfews, came. It was difficult for staffs, to get to the hospital. Transportation was bad and all that. I remember, at that time, my driver was living so far away. I had to be the ambulance driver, to keep the practice going. I have to go and collect some of staffs who are living very close, bring them to the hospital, drop, and at the closing hour, drop them back into the hospital. So they are very challenging times. And, the effect, is more relaxed, but now there is a downward, flow of patients into the hospital. As the populace are becoming more and more aware of it, people don't even want to visit the hospital for the fear of being infected, by the virus. We also had fear of our staffs, being infected. It's really the front desk staff. They are the first, contact. We have to, have provide a special writing material so that they don't touch anything the others have touched, and all that. We have to get them protective, garments, mask, face shield, for all stuff. And we made it mandatory, even though it's still, in existence now. So we made it mandatory for them to wear it. In the health sector.
Yes.
Yes, because we, any form of, any patients, we suspect, have COVID, because we are not even allowed to treat. We too are afraid of even treating them in the facility, because we don't have the required, materials and environment, to manage them. So referring them out, becomes a lot of challenge. Some of them will come and they say they are not going anywhere. They will even refer them to a place, and no secondary or tertiary facility is ready to take them up. At the thick of it, when the old isolation centers were filled up, it becomes so difficult. So many people, you even refer them, they go home, they go back home, and I think this is one of the reasons why there was an increase in community infection. Spread, increase in the spread of community infection. There are a lot of innovations, we have to put in place.
But a lot of things have been damaged.
A lot of things have been damaged, there's no doubt about that. There is increase in prices of goods, medical equipment, drugs, like in Nigeria, people take advantage of everything, especially the consumables. The prices skyrocketed, whereas the money is not there. Even if we want to say that what we buy you will sell, the money is not there, among the our clients. So it's become a lot of challenge. In fact, instead of even increasing the money we charge patients, we have to even have to decrease the amount, because they don't have enough enough cash to pay for their services.